Sometimes, love hides in plain sight. Have you noticed a special woman in your life whose actions leave you puzzled? Maybe her eyes light up when you're around, or she goes out of her way to be near you, but then suddenly she pulls back, leaving you wondering where you really stand. The truth is, love can be a scary emotion to reveal, especially when fear of rejection or vulnerability gets in the way. But here's the exciting part. Her feelings might not be as hidden as she thinks. Love has a way of showing itself in small, undeniable ways. That's why, in today's video, we're going to cover 6 clear signs that she's in love with you but is too afraid to admit it. These aren't just random guesses either. They're grounded in human behavior and psychology, giving you real tools to decode her emotions. If you've been trying to figure out what's going through her mind or untangle the signals she's sending, you're in the right place. This guide will help you understand the subtle ways love shows up, even when words don't. Are you ready to uncover the truth? Stick with me. We're about to reveal it all. Sign 1. She acts nervous around you. Have you noticed her fidgeting or seeming uneasy when she's around you? Nervousness is often one of the clearest signs that a woman has feelings for you, but is too scared to openly express them. It's not something she does intentionally. When someone is in love, it triggers physical and emotional responses they can't always control. For instance, perhaps she starts playing with her hair, tapping her fingers, or adjusting her clothes every time you're near. Maybe her voice quivers slightly when she speaks to you, or she stumbles over her words like she's overthinking what to say. There are also those subtle moments when she avoids eye contact altogether, or conversely, steals quick glances when she thinks you're not looking. These little actions come from a mix of excitement and anxiety. It's all about adrenaline. When she's around someone she likes, her body reacts by releasing adrenaline, which can make her feel jittery or restless. It's why she blushes unexpectedly, laughs at jokes that weren't even that funny, or seems overly conscious of the space around you. What makes this even more interesting is that nervousness doesn't equate to disinterest. Quite the opposite. Her unease often indicates she deeply values your opinion and fears doing anything that might push you away. She wants to show her best side, even if that desire inadvertently comes out as awkwardness or clumsiness. Imagine her blushing when you compliment her, or fumbling with her drink during a conversation. These moments might seem small, but they're emotionally significant. They reflect the internal battle she's facing, trying to act normal while her feelings are bubbling under the surface. Sometimes she'll even try to mask that nervous energy with forced confidence or by acting indifferent. If you see these signs, showing a little warmth and reassurance can make a world of difference. Ease her nerves with lighthearted humor or by creating a comfortable environment where she feels safe. Pay close attention to her behavior and you'll start noticing the subtle ways she gives herself away, even if she's afraid to admit her true feelings. Sign 2. She pays close attention to you but avoids deep connection. Have you ever met a woman who seems to remember the smallest details about you? Like what you ordered at your favorite cafe 2 weeks ago? Or that random story you shared about your dog when you were little? This level of attentiveness isn't something accidental. It's her way of showing she's paying attention, perhaps more than anyone else in your life. However, there is a twist here. While she may notice and recall intricate details about you, she often avoids forming a deeper emotional connection. For example, she may pick up on subtle changes in your mood or remember exactly what you wore at a particular event, but when conversations begin to grow more personal, she might pull back or change the subject. This can be confusing, right? It feels like she's invested but only up to a point. This push and pull behavior often stems from her internal fears. It's not that she doesn't want to get closer to you. On the contrary, her heart wants to be near you. But she may be scared of several things, like rejection or heartbreak. Allowing herself to fully connect could mean taking a risk, one she might not feel emotionally ready to handle just yet. For instance, she might text you to make sure you've eaten or remind you about an important meeting, but at the same time she avoids prolonged eye contact in person. She cares about you deeply but struggles with vulnerability. This guarded behavior is her way of keeping herself safe while still letting her feelings emerge bit by bit. What can you do if you notice this? Patience will go a long way. Instead of rushing the process, allow her to feel comfortable at her own pace. Eventually, as trust builds, she may feel safer opening up and letting that emotional guard down. Her attentive observations are already proof of her care, even if she's still figuring out how to bridge the emotional gap. Sign 3. She gets jealous but hides it. Jealousy is one of the strongest emotional indicators of hidden feelings, and this is especially true if she's in love but too afraid to show it. It may come on unexpectedly, almost slipping out despite her best efforts to keep her emotions under wraps. For example, does she ask you about other women in your life but frames it as a casual question? Maybe something like, "That woman you work with seems really nice. Do you get along well with her?" It might sound innocent, but there's a deeper meaning hidden in those words. She might also get noticeably quieter or even slightly distant if she sees you talking with someone else. These subtle shifts in her behavior often come from a place of insecurity, a fear of losing your attention or affection to someone else. Even if she tries to hide it, jealousy often shows up in light-hearted but slightly irritated comments. Perhaps she jokes about how pretty one of your female friends is, or raises an eyebrow when you mention spending time with another woman. While she may attempt to brush off her feelings as insignificant, psychologists explain that jealousy is a natural response when someone has strong emotional investment in another person. The mere idea of you being interested in someone else can stir up feelings she might not even fully understand herself. What's important to note is that her jealousy isn't about being possessive. It's rooted in her fear of vulnerability and rejection. She might worry that if someone else catches your eye, it could confirm the insecurities she's been battling internally. Because of this fear, she does her best to conceal those pangs of jealousy, hoping they'll go unnoticed. Pay attention to her emotional shifts. She seems unusually quiet or distracted after you've mentioned other women, or if she begins asking more about your relationships, even in subtle ways, that's a key indication her feelings for you run deep. The best way to handle this is with kindness and acknowledgement. Show her that your focus is on her, and there's no need for competition. Reassuring her subtly without making her feel called out can help ease those hidden fears she's grappling with. Sign 4. She finds ways to be around you. Have you noticed her always somehow being nearby, even when it seems unplanned? If a woman has hidden feelings for you, her actions will often speak louder than words. Even if she's scared to express her love openly, her subconscious desire to be near you can't help but shine through. This might look like her randomly showing up at places you frequent. For instance, maybe she finds herself at your favorite coffee shop just as you're grabbing your morning brew, or happens to cross paths with you in the park. Of course, she'll act like it's just a coincidence, but how often do happenstances like these really happen? Chances are she knew you'd be there and just couldn't resist being in your presence. You'll also notice her making small efforts to stay connected. Maybe she volunteers to help you with a project or insists on giving you a hand with a task, even if it's something simple like organizing files at work or lending you a book she thinks you'll like. There's always a touch of intentionality behind it. These gestures are her way of carving out moments to be with you while keeping things casual. This behavior happens because her emotions naturally draw her toward you. Even when her mind tells her to keep her distance, her heart overrules, pulling her closer in subtle, nearly imperceptible ways. She may convince herself that she's just being friendly, but deep down, her desire to spend time with you comes from a much deeper emotional place. What's most telling is her consistency. Does she always seem to stick around, even when she doesn't necessarily have to? Does she linger after a group lunch, hoping for a chance to chat with you alone? Maybe she offers to give you a ride home when she could have easily gone her own way. These aren't accidents. They're signs of her feelings trying to make themselves known, even if she's doing her best to suppress them. To reciprocate, you don't have to call her out on it. Instead, meet her halfway. If you notice her showing up, engage her, initiate a conversation, invite her into your plans, or simply make her feel welcomed. Your openness may give her the reassurance she needs to feel safe around you. Over time, those coincidences might transform into intentional moments of connection. She'll feel more confident expressing how she truly feels, little by little. Sign 5. She opens up to you, then pulls away. Have you experienced moments when she drops her guard and lets you into her world, only to pull back shortly after? This push and pull dynamic can feel confusing, but it's a key sign of her internal struggle. She cares about you deeply and wants to share her life with you, but at the same time, vulnerability terrifies her. When a woman is secretly in love, but scared to admit it, she might oscillate between moments of openness and withdrawal. For instance, she might talk to you about her childhood dreams, her biggest fears, or the personal goals she's working toward. These are the kinds of conversations she likely doesn't have with just anyone, making it clear that she trusts you on a deep level. However, once she realizes how close she's allowed herself to get, fear can kick in. Her brain might flood her with what-ifs and worries about what happens if things go wrong. The closer she gets, the higher the stakes feel in her mind, and as a result, she might suddenly go cold, avoid contact, or become distant. This isn't because she doesn't like you. In fact, she's pulling back because she likes you so much that the thought of rejection or heartbreak becomes overwhelming. You might notice her jokingly calling herself too busy or suddenly having a bunch of obligations that take her away from spending time with you. Maybe she stops replying to messages as quickly as she used to, or changes the subject when conversations get personal. Pay close attention to these shifts because they're indicators of her trying to retreat emotionally. It's easy to misinterpret this behavior as disinterest. However, it's actually a sign of her caring so deeply that it frightens her. She might struggle with letting go of control or with the idea of needing someone emotionally. These feelings aren't something she can explain easily, so they manifest as this back-and-forth dynamic. The best way to handle this? Be patient. Acknowledge her moments of openness and make her feel secure when she pulls back. Show that you're consistent and stable even during her moments of emotional retreat. Over time, this pattern may gradually fade as she becomes more comfortable and begins to trust that her vulnerability is safe with you. Sign 6. She supports you in silent ways. When a woman is in love with you but scared to say it, her actions will often reveal the depth of her emotions. One way this happens is through the quiet support she offers. Even if she doesn't openly express her feelings, she'll find ways to be there for you, proving her love through her actions rather than her words. For instance, she might offer encouragement when you're working toward a goal or check in on how you're feeling during a tough week. Maybe she remembers small but meaningful details about your life, like wishing you luck for an important presentation or asking how your dog's vet appointment went. These little acts of kindness show that she's paying attention to you in ways that others might not. Her support might also extend to being a listening ear. When you're venting about life, she's the one who's fully present, nodding along and offering thoughtful advice. Even if she doesn't have the exact words to say, she makes you feel heard and valued. This is her love language shining through, even if she keeps her emotions to herself. Sometimes this support is more subtle. For instance, she might quietly take care of things that help you out, like bringing you a coffee when you're stuck at your desk, offering to proofread your work if you're overwhelmed, or making note of something you mentioned needing help with. These gestures might seem small on the surface, but they carry a lot of emotional weight. They're her way of being there for you without calling attention to how much she cares. This kind of love comes from a deeply emotional place. She might not be ready to admit her feelings out loud, fearing rejection or vulnerability, but her actions give her away. Pay attention to the consistency of her support. Her willingness to invest in your happiness and success speaks volumes about how much she values you. To show your appreciation, acknowledge her efforts. Thank her when she helps you or return the kindness with gestures of your own. Building this mutual care and support can create a safe emotional space for her, allowing her to eventually open up about how she truly feels. Her silent support is her way of loving you with everything she has, even if she hasn't mustered the courage to say the words yet. By recognizing these signs and valuing her efforts, you can give her the reassurance she needs to feel confident sharing her heart. In conclusion, understanding the subtle ways a woman may express her love while being scared to show it can strengthen your bond and deepen your relationship. By being patient, attentive, and supportive, you can create an environment where she feels safe enough to reveal her true feelings. Love often starts with small gestures and unspoken emotions. Treasure these moments and nurture the connection you share.